Your environment influences your mental state by 40%. And that is why it is important to be very intentional over what you feed your mind with. This can be through the things you watch, what you read, what you listen to, and the company you keep around you. Hi, my name is Abraham Abu, and this is Ripple Impact. I'll be giving you 3 tips to help you build a healthy mentality. Number 1, adopt an empowering belief. Adopting an empowering belief will help you to overcome what I call negative limiting beliefs. On a daily basis, our mind, which is our subconscious mind, is bombarded with negative information that limits us. Information such as, I am not good enough, I can't stand before the public to speak, I cannot pass these exams, I am just an ordinary person, I have no talents. So this kind of information, when we continue to feed our minds with it, it begins to affect ourselves. Our subconscious mind receives this information and believes it's true and begins to send signals to your body, which begins to act in that manner. And this attitude or this kind of actions will now begin to influence the way we see ourselves and the way we act on a daily basis, which does not allow us to grow. So one of the things you can do in such situations is to ensure that each time you are bombarded with any form of negative belief, you counter it with a positive belief. For instance, someone tells you you are not good, you are as bad as anything. Perhaps your boss at the office or your parents or anyone tells you you are good for nothing. All you have to do is tell yourself right immediately, I am the best version of myself. I am good at what I do. I am the best among the others. Remind yourself of the things you have done perfectly. The things you have done, you are good at. By doing this, you are replacing that negative belief or recording that positive belief to wipe away the negative belief that your mind has already taken in before now. It's just like a disk. When you record on an empty disk, that information stays there. But by the time you record on that, again, you try to save, it says, do you want to replace this with the earlier file? And when you say yes, it replaces the negative or whatever you had on that disk with the new one you're placing. And that's exactly what you should do. Replace that negative belief with a positive belief through positive affirmations. Number 2, build healthy habits. Building healthy habits will help you to move past that limitation that you have had for yourself. Remember, action becomes our habit, and our habit becomes our characters. So when we continue to take actions that will lead us towards healthy habit, we begin to become empowered. One of the ways you can do that is to ensure that you have what I call a good daily routine. And your daily routine begins with your night routine. What do you do at night before you go to bed? What you do at night before you go to bed prepares you for the next morning. It's what I call working on autopilot. If you are able to set up the things that you need for the following morning, when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to start thinking about them. And that's exactly what I call working on autopilot. You set your top 3 goals for the next day. The 3 goals that you want to achieve the following morning. Now, by doing that, you already prepare your mind, to be focused on those goals. And where your mind focuses, energy flows. So what you do, set up your top 3 goals. Also, if you have to leave for work the next morning, get your dresses or your shirts ironed, get your shoes polished, pre-pack whatever you need to go to work with, like breakfast or so. Have it pre-packed in the night before, or even your lunch. Pre-pack it and keep it in the fridge. So in the morning you don't have to do so much. All you need to do is just package or fry your egg, or just do a quick cooking of those things. So you prepare your morning the day before by setting up goals at night. Then what do you do in the morning, which is what I call the morning routine? When you wake up first thing in the morning, what is the first thing you usually do? Do you reach out to your phone and begin to check messages that you received the night before? Is that what you do? The right thing to do is when you wake up in the morning, you try to ignore social media. What you do is have routines that will build you up, that is intentional towards where you are heading to. One of the things you can do is to, when you wake up in the morning, you say a prayer or you meditate, as the case may be. After doing that, read something. Maybe read the scripture or read any favorite book of yours for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as the case may be. The other thing to do is also to exercise. When you move your body, you become energetic. Energy flows when you move your body. So exercise to get yourself ready, to keep your mind healthy, to declutter your mind, from any form of, clustered worries or information from the previous day. The other thing you need to do is also to document your thoughts for that day. Apart from the 3 top goals that you have set the night before, what other things do you think you want to do within the course of the day? These, you have to document them. Don't just have it in mind, because you could forget it. When you document them, according to research, you have 42% of the chances of accomplishing what you have written down. So document them, and that will help you to begin to achieve. At the end of the day, if you're not able to achieve the top 3 goals, if you are able to achieve 1 or 2, you are in the right direction. You are in the right course to getting to where you want to be, or becoming the best version of yourself. Number 3, create a vision for yourself. Vision will help you to have a shift in perspective about life. When you have vision, it causes you to live intentional. It causes you to do everything you do having your vision in mind. Now, how do you come about writing your vision? This is one of the questions you may want to ask yourself. One of the ways you can do that is to ask yourself 3 basic questions. The first question is, what am I good at? Now you brainstorm. What are the things that you are good at? What are the things that comes handy to you? You can make a list of those things. You can write at least 10 of those things, and in the order of priority, and you eventually narrow it down to the top 3. Then the next question you ask yourself is, what am I passionate about? When you ask yourself, what are the things you're passionate about, this also helps you in narrowing down the 10 things you have listed to the top 3. Because where your passion lies, you go there on a daily basis, irrespective of what happens. If you choose a business where you have passion about, even when things don't seem right, even when someone talks to you negatively, even when situation is discouraging, you will still build the momentum because of the passion that you have to continue to go there. And eventually, when you do that on a regular basis, you tend to perfect your skills on that area and perfect your understanding, and things begin to work eventually. And the final question, your core values. Your core values are your basic principles. These are the things you are guided by. These are the things that helps you to make decisions in certain areas or in any area of your life. When you have your core values in place, when you're about to make certain decisions, it could be business decision, it could be life decision, or any aspect, or any form of decision, you put into consideration what your core values are. You ask yourself the question, does this decision, does it align with my core values? Depending on what your core values are. When you are able to have a clarity on all of this, it becomes easy for you to begin to build habits that will take you to the desired destination in life. Then the other thing is, after creating visions for yourself, you need to break it down into smaller chunks. And that is what I call goal setting. You need to set your goals for 1 year, which is short term. You set your goals for 5 years, which is mid-term. You set your goals for 10 years, which is long-term. By setting your goals into smaller chunks, helps you not to become overwhelmed. And it helps prevent you from procrastinating. Procrastination comes in as a result of being overwhelmed by some of the decisions or some of the goals you have set for yourself. You do not know where to start from. But having them broken into smaller chunks helps you to take smaller actions that will lead you to ripples of effect at the end of the day. It compounds. Very key. Set your goals into smaller chunks and begin to pursue your goals. Taking action is very important in life and in everything you do. According to Albert Einstein, he said nothing happens until you move. Now, when you don't take action, nothing happens. Whatever you have written as goal remain as a goal. Whatever you have written as a vision remain as a vision. So it is very key and very important to take action. And that's why I'll give you this analogy. Imagine a jumbo jet. When it lies or in the hangar, it stays still. You can come, you can play, you can hug, you can do everything. You can even push it. Nothing happens. But when the ignition is turned on and the gear is engaged on the runway, imagine what happens at that point when it's about to take off. It breaks any form of barrier. Nothing can stop it. It breaks through and takes off. That's exactly the way your mind is. When your mind is activated, it can achieve whatever it is. It can break any barrier to achieve whatever you desire to achieve. So that is why it is important when we set goals, we don't just set goals, but we take action. Action is what brings about the fulfillment of any goals or endeavor. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the subscription button, like our video, share with your friends so you can see our videos each time we make them. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.